number 15 question in the past bar exam 2024. So here the question. So we have Talia, the owner of Queen Karaoke Club. QKC hired Darrens as an accountant. On January 19, 2023, QKC's owner verbally informed Darrens to look for another job and banned him from the club. Darrens filed against QKC a complaint for illegal dismissal. Meanwhile, Darrens was hired as an accountant in another company on February 14, 2023. In its answer, QKC countered that Darrens abandoned his work in favor of better paying job. On June 22, 2024, QKC ceased business in due course. The labor arbiter declared Darrens unjustly dismissed from work and awarded him fallback wages computed from January 19, 2023, when he was verbally dismissed, until June 22, 2024, when QTC staff operations Talia sought reconsideration and invoked the principles of no work, no pay, and unjust enrichment. Talia argued that Darren's salaries earned from another employer should be deducted from the award of back wages. The labor arbiter granted the motion and recomputed back wages from January 19, 2023, Darren's date of illegal dismissal, until February 14, 2023, when another employer hired him as the labor arbiter, correct in limiting the period for computing the award of back wages. Explain. Answer: no. The labor arbiter is not correct in limiting the period for computing the award of back wages. In Jacinto Rituya, Priscilla Bali, Baltasar Kilat, Abdon Daison, and Eleuterio Ensalada versus Honorable Salik Dumarpa, Honorable Oscar Abilla, and Leon Gonzaga Jr., National Labor Relations Commission, Cagayan de Oro, Insular Builders Incorporated, Antonio Murillo, President and General Manager, and Rodolfo Murillo. Year number 148848, August 5, 2003. It states, Bustamante versus NLRC held that illegally dismissed employees were entitled to fallback wages that should not be dismissed or reduced by the amount they had earned from another employment. During the period of their illegal dismissal, while litigating employees must pay them fallback wages. This rule has been uniformly applied in subsequent cases. Further, having been illegally dismissed, petitioners should be awarded back wages in accordance with Bustamante versus NLRC. The fact that work for a sister company immediately after being dismissed from Insular Builders Incorporated should not preclude such award. The contention that they will be unjustly enriched thereby has been squarely addressed by the court in Bustamante, from which we quote, on 21 March 1989, RA number 6715 took effect, amending the Labor Code Article 279 thereof states, in part, Article 279, security of tenure. An employee who is unjustly dismissed from work shall be entitled to reinstatement without loss of seniority rights and other privileges into his fallback wages, including of allowances into his other benefits or their monetary equivalent, computed from the time his compensation is withheld from him up to the time of his actual reinstatement. In accordance with the above provision, an illegally dismissed employee is entitled to his fallback wages from the time his compensation withheld from him, which as a rule is from the time of his illegal dismissal up to the time of his actual reinstatement. It is true that this court had ruled in the case of the City Educational Center versus NLRC, GR number 96,779, 10 November 1993, 227 SCRA 655, that in ascertaining the total amount of back wages payable to them, employees, we go back to the rule prior to the Mercury Drug Rule that the total amount derived from employment elsewhere by the employee from the date of dismissal up to the date of reinstatement, if any, should be deducted therefrom. The rationale for such ruling was that the earnings derived elsewhere by the dismissed employee while litigating the legality of his dismissal should be deducted from the full amount of back wages which the law grants him upon reinstatement, so as not to unduly or unjustly enrich the employee at the expense of the employer. The court deems it appropriate, however, to reconsider such earlier ruling on the computation of back wages as enunciated in said Pine City Educational Center case, by now holding that comfortably with the evident legislative intent as experienced in RA number 6715, above quoted, back wages to be awarded to an illegally dismissed employee should not, as a general rule, be dismissed or reduced by the earnings derived by him elsewhere during the period of his illegal dismissal. The underlying reason for this ruling is that the employee, while litigating the legality or illegality of his dismissal, must still earn a living to support himself and family, while full back wages have to be paid by the employer as part of the price or penalty he has to pay for illegally dismissing the employee. The clear legislative intent of the amendment in RA number 6715 is to give more benefits to workers than was previously given them under the Mercury Drug Rule on the deduction of earnings elsewhere rule. Thus, a closer adherence to the legislative policy behind RA number 6715 points to full back wages as meaning exactly that example, without deducting from back wages the earnings derived elsewhere by the concerned employees during the period of his illegal dismissal. In other words, the provisions calling for full back wages to illegally dismissed employee is clear, plain, and free from ambiguity, and therefore must be applied without attempted or strained interpretation. Index animi sermo is speech is the index of intention. In same light, thereby, in accordance with RA number 6715, petitioners are entitled to their full back wages, inclusive of allowances and other benefits or their monetary equivalent, from the time their actual compensation was withheld from them up to the time of their reinstatement. So that's it. That's my answer for number 15 question in the past bar exam 2024. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. God bless and good day.